look here, and I hope some of it's not written too small. We had to get, like, I don't know, well, nearly 30 songs, it feels like, on this whiteboard. Had to save room for a big melt down here at the end, just like they did. Melt no matter the era. Going back to July 13th, 1994 for this one. And, we're going to have to blast through this first set a little bit. I don't want to be here all night. I mean, we got a lot of action to talk about. And this first set does not deserve to be blown over. But really, it got in Mango Song. I was like, wow, I just always see in the stats the Mango Song is one of them ones that's not played nearly as much as it seems like it is. Mango Song seems like a song that's been a regular forever, but not necessarily the case. In fact, it's kind of a special event. And then a few songs later, boom, you get a fee. Oh boy, to be 1994 again. So really, from Foam all the way through Melt, pretty much getting it done. Look, in a Buried Alive opener, that's always going to be a big deal. And then really just keeping things going with the tempo and getting everybody fired up. So a really good start with that, boom, boom. And then Sample in a Jar. I feel like maybe it was kind of newish back then. And that time, Sample in a Jar, but still maybe more on the lame side. But perhaps one of the lamest in the arsenal back then. Foam, however, not lame at all. I'd like to see the dance moves in 1994. All right, as we mentioned, Mango Song. And then right here, really, Foam Through Its Ice was the major highlights of this. The Down with Disease, completely insane for a Type 1. Got a fee there, It's Ice, Fast Enough for You, finally calming things down. John Fishman getting in on the action. Oh, he was in on the action, all right. And also this time and the band's history, you start to realize that, okay, this is why they were named after John Fishman. Very apparent in Split Open and Melt. Down with Disease probably as well. So really, this gets him going. Fishman was already having a good set, but then the I Didn't Know kicks him into high gear right there. Then we come over here to Possum. This is a very strange set. It was just like nothing was normal. All kinds of speculation on why and what was going on with this. Looking back on it now, it's like, hey, look, it was 1994. They were young. They were hungry. They were out to prove it. They just wanted to leave everybody just completely, they wanted to be undeniable, back then. So Possum going crazy. It's just a very strange vocal, maybe so what set it apart. There was some flubbing even back in 19. The difference back then when they had a flub, though, they would turn it into something cool. Like near train wreck flub, Not everything was always on, but overall the show's pretty much always smoked. And then the Possum with the weird, kind of cool, unique vocal ending there. Then we get into Cavern. Cavern quickly becomes Wilson, and then back into Cavern. So smooth how they do it too, And then Cavern felt a little junky. Like I figured, I feel like they would have rehearsed this and tried it, or maybe it was just on the fly. I don't know. We want to believe everything they do is just on the fly. This kind of had a feel like it was just on the fly, too, because it was a little bit clunky there in the Cavern, like, as they knew what they were doing. And then, oh my God, once it was not clunky and they were into Wilson, Fishman may be a little late to the party there after I was just bragging about him here. So this is absolutely a must-hear. It's on YouTube. NICU, and everything kind of had a little alligator mouth throughout the whole night action. Oh, this Tweezer, Julius Tweezer. How dare they sneak a Julius in there on us? Well, none of the Tweezers were really jammed out. Had a bit of a Tweezer fest. Oh, man. And then the big black furry creatures from Mars really could have been a big black furry creature from Mule, I guess. It was like a bluegrass, almost a Sin of a Mule sounding big black furry creatures. Big black furry mules from Mars, perhaps. Maybe give it a little M there. That's not an M. What the fuck's going on here, man? All right. So then Mount, after a little bit more Tweezer, kind of a crazy Tweezer right there coming out of the black furry creatures. The big black furry creatures. And then, Mound. Man, just so many songs like Mound and It's Ice, Fee, Mango Song. Just don't get a lot of them now. So they kind of kept the crazy bluegrass feel going there, and then Slave to the Traffic Light. Oh, what a dandy. And then Susie Greenberg, including a Slave to the Traffic Light and a Down with Disease tease, kind of keeping, not that it went full mashup on us. And then who cares? The Encore, My Sweet One, Tweezer Reprise. Although there was this was an audience recording I listened to it on, and crazy audience, people went nuts for My Sweet One. I don't know. Started out very high tempo, ending at very high tempo, Tweezer Reprise. So the highlights, I don't know. I guess this was a highlight. It was kind of crazy. Everything was just weird. The Tweezer, Julius Tweezer. It's all very good though. All that very good. The Mule. That big black furry creatures from Mars, that's a mouthful when you're a guy like me. Fast enough for you. How dare they? How dare they interrupt the action? I mean, that foam through its ice. Boom. All right, guys. So going back to July 13th, 1994. That's a lot of action on a whiteboard. And God, I wasn't doing them back then. Boom. I think I did have this on a CD, though. It was a mess.